Good morning. I hope you have done the assignment given to you on last Friday. If you have doubts, please put up in the WhatsApp group, children. Today's class, we start the chapter Coordinate Geometry. I think you have heard the word point. What is a point? A point indicates its position. A point indicates its position. The same point you can represent on a graph paper. I think all of you know what is the graph paper. Yes, a graph paper contains two types of lines. The horizontal lines running from, this is the horizontal line, and the vertical line running from top to down. The horizontal lines run from left to right and the vertical line runs from top to down. Horizontal line. This is the horizontal line and this is the vertical line. Yes, this horizontal line is called x-axis and the vertical line is called as y-axis. These two lines are perpendicular to each other. I think you know the meaning of the word perpendicular, children. They intersect at right angle. To locate the position of a point in a plane, a point indicates its position. And what is a plane? A plane is a smooth, flat surface. And this coordinate geometry is an important branch in mathematics which was studied by a French mathematician Descartes. He was the first person who started studying about the coordinate geometry. A point indicates its position. A point indicates its position. And to represent, you can represent a point, we require a plane. And what is a plane, children? A plane is a smooth, flat surface. A plane is a smooth, flat surface. And the mathematician Descartes, a French mathematician, by name René Descartes, was the first person to study about the coordinate geometry. A French mathematician, René Descartes, was the first mathematician who initially studied and developed the description of a point in a plane. Yes, a point indicates its position. To represent a point, we require a plane. And what is a plane, children? A smooth, flat surface. Fourth one, who developed coordinate geometry? A French mathematician, René Descartes, was the first mathematician who initially studied and developed the description of a point in a plane. These concepts, I think you know the meaning of the word horizontal line and vertical line. X-axis, the horizontal line is called x-axis and the vertical line is called y-axis. The horizontal line is called x-axis and the vertical line is called y-axis. The horizontal line is x-axis and the vertical line is y-axis. Both the x-axis and y-axis are perpendicular to each other. X and y-axis are perpendicular to each other. The point where x and y axis intersect, is the origin denoted as 0, 0. That means x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. X is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. X and y axis are perpendicular to each other. Next, the point where the x and y axis intersect is the origin denoted as 0, 0. Yes. Next, the x coordinate is called abscissa. The x coordinate is called abscissa and the y coordinate is called ordinate. X coordinate is called abscissa and the y coordinate is called ordinate. On x-axis, y is equal to 0 and on y-axis x is equal to 0. మళ్ళీ చేస్తాను. On x-axis y is equal to 0 and on y-axis x is equal to 0. So the point on x-axis is of the form x comma 0 and on y-axis is of the form 0 comma y. The plane, the plane is called, the plane is called coordinate plane. The plane is called the Cartesian plane. The plane is called the Cartesian plane or coordinate plane. The plane is called the Cartesian plane or the coordinate plane, and the lines are called coordinate axis, and the lines are called coordinate axis. Axis is singular, girls, and axis is plural. AXIS is singular, AXES is plural. The plane is called the Cartesian plane or coordinate plane, and the lines are called the coordinate axis. You can draw this figure in your notebook, children, all of you, to know the axis. This is only the basics of the topic, girls, that you're learning. Vertical line, horizontal line. Yes, horizontal line, horizontal line, and this is the vertical line. Y, O, Y dash, X, O, X dash. I think you know the meaning of the word X dash. To the right of 0, X is always positive. To the right of 0, X is always positive. And to the left of 0, X is negative. Above 0, Y is positive. And below 0, Y is negative. Above 0, Y is positive, and below 0, Y is negative. Horizontal line is x-axis. Vertical line is y-axis. Both the axes are perpendicular to each other. The point where the x and y axis intersect is the origin, whose coordinates are 0, 0. That means x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. On x-axis, y is always equal to 0. And on y-axis, x is equal to 0. On x-axis, y is equal to 0, and on y-axis, x is equal to 0. You can see in the coordinate system, children, the coordinate system or the coordinate plane is divided into 4 parts. How many parts? 4 parts, called as quadrants. These 4 parts are called as quadrants. We have 4 quadrants. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you take the first quadrant, children, observe carefully. X is positive, Y is positive. X is positive, Y is positive. When you go to the second quadrant, X is negative, Y is positive. X is negative, Y is positive. And the third quadrant, X negative, Y negative. Fourth quadrant, X is positive, Y is negative. You can observe opposite quadrants are having the same signs. The first quadrant positive, positive. Third quadrant negative, negative. But when it comes to second and the fourth, children, x is negative, y is positive. And in the fourth quadrant, x is positive and y is negative. Quadrants. How many quadrants are there in the Cartesian plane or in the coordinate plane? We have 4 quadrants. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the first quadrant, both x and y are positive. In the second quadrant, x negative, y positive. Third quadrant, x negative, y negative. Fourth quadrant, x positive, y negative. I think you could understand the basics, children. How many axes? 2 axes. What are those 2 axes? X-axis and y-axis. What do you call the x-axis? The horizontal line is called x-axis. The vertical line is called y-axis. What is a plane? A smooth flat surface is a plane. To locate a point, you require a plane. And how are the 2 axes, girls? They are perpendicular. The point where the x and y axis intersect is the origin whose coordinates are 0, 0. On x-axis, y is equal to 0. On x-axis, y is equal to 0. And on y-axis, x is equal to 0. A quadrant divides the plane, the coordinate plane. A quadrant divides the coordinate plane into 4 parts. The first quadrant, in the first quadrant, x is positive, y is positive. In the second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. In the third quadrant, x is negative, y is negative. And in the fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. Yes? The distance of a point from y-axis, the distance of a point from y-axis is called x-coordinate, and the distance of the point from x-axis is called y-coordinate. I shall show you on the graph, children, what is x-coordinate and y-coordinate. The distance of a point from y-axis is called the x-coordinate, and the distance of a point from the x-axis is called y-coordinate. Yes? If x is not equal to y, then x comma y is not equal to y comma x. Example, x is equal to 7, y is equal to 4. Then 7 comma 4 is not equal to 4 comma 7. Next, if x is equal to y, then x comma y is equal to y comma x. Example, x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2, then 2 comma 2 is equal to Yes. A quadrant divides the coordinate plane into 4 parts. In the first quadrant, both are positive. That means x is positive, y is positive. Second quadrant, x negative, y positive. Third quadrant, x negative, y negative. Fourth quadrant, x positive, y negative. Now what is x coordinate? The distance of a point from y-axis. The distance of a point from here. How far is the point P from y-axis? 3 units. How far is the point P from x-axis? The point P from x-axis is 2 units. On x-axis, P is at what distance from y-axis? 1, 2, 3. So first we write the x coordinate. How far is the point P from x-axis? Count children. 1, 2. So the coordinates of P is 3, 2. The distance of a point from y-axis is called the x-coordinate, and the distance of a point from x-axis is called the y-coordinate. We shall first do exercise 3.2 children, then we shall do the remaining exercises. Open to page number 60. What is the name of the horizontal and the vertical lines drawn to determine the position of any point in the Cartesian plane? What is the name of the horizontal line, girls? The name of the horizontal line, can you guess? Is the x-axis, and the vertical line is y-axis. Second bit, what is the name of each part of the plane formed by these two lines? When two lines are intersecting, what is formed? Yes, the name of each part of the plane is called quadrant. Write the name of the point where the two lines intersect. If two lines intersect and perpendicular to each other, what is that point called? The point is called origin, whose coordinates are 0, 0. Second bit, girls. The coordinates of B. The figure is given, children. B touches x-axis at -5 and y-axis at 2. So the coordinates are -5, 2. You must see where the line touches first x-axis, next y-axis. B touches x-axis at -5 and y-axis at 2. So the coordinates are -5, 2. C is touching x-axis at 5 and y-axis at -5. So the coordinates of C are 5, -5. Next, can you identify whose coordinates are -3 and -5? Which point is touching -3 and -5? The point E. And 2, -4. Which point is touching x-axis at 2 and y-axis at -4? Could you guess? It is the point G. The abscissa means x value. Ordinate means y value. The abscissa of the point D. First of all, what is D coordinates, children? D touches x-axis at 6 and y-axis at 2. D coordinates are 6, 2, The abscissa of the point D is 6. The ordinate of the point H. What are H coordinates? -5, -3. -5, -3. Ordinate means y value. So y is equal to -3. Coordinates, 7th bit of the point L. L lies where, children? On y-axis. The point L lies on y-axis. So x is equal to 0. And the coordinates of the point L are 0, 5. The coordinates of the point M. M is lying on which axis? X-axis. So y is equal to 0. And x is equal to -3. X is equal to -3. Y is equal to 0. The coordinates of the point M will be what, girls? -3, 0. I think you could have followed, girls. Now for you the homework is exercise 3.2. Read the concepts, children, that I have taught today in the class, and all of you work out exercise 3.2.